Hey, I'm Andre Thompson, the Privileged Bow Hunter. I want to talk to you about how to save a little bit of money. We've all spent way too much money, way more money than we're willing to admit on archery related equipment and bow hunting equipment. So here's just one step to make your dollars go a little bit longer. As we can see, this broadhead's life is pretty much come to an end. Um, this doesn't stop anything. It looks the same on the backside, right? This broadhead target lasted maybe a year. It's not because Rhinehart makes a bad target. It's because I was inexperienced and I made a lot of mistakes through my tuning process and my process to verify that my broadheads are hitting where they're supposed to be. So what I want to do is bring to you my process. It's not the only process. It's not the only way to do it. It's just the way that works best for me. That makes me the most confident with my setup and allows me to always verify that my broadheads are hitting exactly where my field points are and that they're flying correctly. Your bow has to be tuned, right? There's no way around it. You need to make sure your cams are timed correctly and they're synced, so they're coming off of the cable when you're coming to draw at the same time, and they come back down at the same time. You also got to make sure that your rest is set to the proper height and distance away from your riser. If I'm speaking a foreign language to you right now, find your local bow shop. Here on island, we have the Island Archer. In my garage, I do it myself. But one of those two ways, you have to do that step first, or you will be super frustrated. What you want to do next is to get your arrows and to make sure that each end is actually perfectly square, right? Just because you ordered some arrows and they cut them to your length that you need for your draw length, it doesn't mean that those arrows are square. So what you need to do is take a arrow square, what I use is the G5 arrow square, and grind both ends. It'll make sure that that face is perfectly flat on the end of your arrow. Do it on the broadhead side and also do it on the knock side. Spin test that arrow, verify that there is no wobble on either end. Once you verify that there's no wobble in each of those arrows, then you can move on to the next step. Okay, so if spin testing your arrows or testing your arrows for any wobble was step 2 alpha, we'll go to step 2 bravo, which would be spine indexing your arrows. Another step that you really should not skip. What you want to do, take your bare shaft arrow, you're going to shoot that through paper. There's a lot of debate on which distance you use, so for me, I stand about 5 yards away, I shoot through paper. I'm going to diagnose what type of tear I'm getting. At this point, remember, we've already tuned our bows, we've already verified that there's no wobble in our arrow, so now we're confident that the next step we need to take is to turn our knock, which will start to affect that tear that you're getting through paper. So if you're getting a tail left, tail right, high or low, if you turn that knock, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna bring that left, right, or awkward tear that you're getting through paper to a perfect bullet hole. Step 2, Charlie. We're gonna make sure that we fletch our arrows properly, right? We spine indexed our arrows. We put a mark on the knock and on the shaft so we can see where that, get that consistent spine in each arrow. Next, we're gonna fletch our arrows and we're gonna make sure that the cock vein is perfectly aligned with the mark that we made on the shaft. Really, each arrow should be able to hit the same hole, if not close to the same hole, or wherever you're shooting, assuming everything goes well with your form. One thing that I know about broadheads, because that's the whole purpose of these steps, is to get your broadheads to fly perfectly, is any issues in your form or your tuning are going to be amplified. Your broadheads are going to make those really show up. So you want to eliminate all of those factors before you start shooting your broadheads. So the next step is going to be to shoot your broadhead into the target. Shoot your broadhead into your target, focus on your form, make sure you're making a good shot, If you're too sore from shooting the day before or from all the arrows that you put through paper to get your arrows indexed, then take a couple days off before you go and shoot. If your shoulder's too tired to have proper form, you're not going to make good shots, and then you're going to end up having to shoot more broadheads into your target, thus reducing the life of your broadhead target. Okay, so shoot your broadhead first. Just trust me there, please. After that, shoot your field point. You're gonna see where they're at, whether one is high, one is low, and then we'll make our adjustments from there. So you're looking at both of them are two. The left and right is perfect. The difference in his height could just be me, right? But I think you take that all day long. If I want to really perfect this, I could make a small, I'm talking like 1/16 of an inch adjustment to my rest, and they'll both come in, you know, you can get them slapping. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back, make a small adjustment to the rest. Here's what I found. That shot, the broadhead was maybe 1/2 inch to an inch high. So what that tells me, I could do a couple things. Either I could either raise my knocking point, or I can just lower my rest, right? So I have a micro adjustable rest. So what I'm gonna do is just, barely, maybe a 1/16 of an inch, I'm gonna bring this rest down. What you want to do is pay attention to where it was before you made an adjustment, just in case you do something wrong, you can bring it right back to where it was. So I am barely going to adjust this thing. So I just gave it 3 clicks here and down, and that should bring me back. We'll see if I'm right. If you don't have a micro adjustable rest, it's fine. You just have to be really, really careful with how you move it. All right, once again, broadhead first. I can't stress that enough. Which is why you shoot the broadhead first, because if those arrows did slap together, if that was a broadhead, the first arrow that I shot would be totally shredded. That's the goal, right? One adjustment. It took me 2 shots with this broadhead, and they're pretty much hitting the same hole. So what that means is I can practice with my field tips, and then I can screw on my broadhead. I can go hunt. These fixed blade broadheads, all I have to do is run them. These right here, all I got to do is run them over a sharpening stone after this, and they'll be razor sharp again and ready to hunt with. You know, so had I learned this about 4 years ago when I bought this target, all of these sides would still look like this, you know, still clean. So the next one I get, that one's probably gonna last me forever. So I hope this helps somebody save some money and not tear up your targets, your nice expensive 18-in-1s or your morel targets or whatever target it is that you use. Hopefully these tips help you get a little bit more life out of them.